true capitalist radio. I'm the badass of business and the prognosticator of prognosticators. Give CIA levels of assessments predicting the future. The future. The future. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. Sparking synapses in the internet underground. Everyone knows who I am. The world is my chessboard and war is the tool of the game. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Say what you want about me, but I speak the truth. The truth, the truth. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. Now get ready. True capitalist radio starts now. Right now. Fucking punks. Fucking punks. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fucking punks.
What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you all for tuning in with me. This is episode number 730, episode number 730 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets and throughout the world. And let everybody you know, let them all know that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is in effect and in the house. Once again, episode 730. And you all see the title, huh? All you MAGA people are eating crow right now, and you deserve it, all right? Huh? He who laughs last laughs loudest, all right? Now, I'm not going to rub it in everybody's face thus far. This is a Baller Friday episode, so happy Baller Friday to all the folks that are tuning in with us right now. So without any further ado, before we start getting into all the hoopla of what's going on in MAGA world, let's go ahead and hook it up with some business side, or I should say market side of the broadcast, all right? Now, let's go ahead and put the PC shot on. Take a look at the markets today. It's starting to see a little red. Take a look at the Dow. It was down 0.77% on the day, closing out the Dow at 42,992.21 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. S&P 500 also down today, 1.11%, closing out the S&P at 7,970.84 points for the S&P 500. And we've got the NASDAQ. It took the brunt end of today's negative. It is down 1.49%, closing out the NASDAQ at 19,722.03 points for the NASDAQ composite. Gold, once again, holding steady around $2,600. Current price for gold right now is $2,636.50 per troy ounce of gold. And we've got oil once again up modestly today, 0.92%, closing out oil at $70.26 per barrel of WTI sweet crude oil. Now, folks, I have always been saying here that everybody needs to be really suspicious about this market, all right? And look, everybody in the institutional realm of Wall Street gets it. I've gotten it. Take a look at this. All these market indicators point to stocks struggling during the Trump's presidency. Now, there's a lot of indicators. We are seeing job openings rapidly drop. We're starting to see things like a closing of mass stores. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you a little bit of that because, folks, I don't think people realize that a lot of things that are happening right now as we speak are eerily similar to what we saw in previous crashes, all right? Now, once again, we have printed out a plethora of amount of money post-COVID, so we are still waiting on when the hell that money is going to finally dwindle away. But take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. It goes to show you things are closing. This is just for the month of December in 2024 alone. Take a look at this. All right, take a look at that. Major stores closing. Party City closing all 850 locations by February. Big Lots closing all 900 locations. All right, Advance Auto Parts closing over 700 locations in 2025. Macy's closing 65 locations right after Christmas. Denny's closing 50 locations by the end of the year. Sears just closed one of its final stores. Walgreens, hundreds of stores likely. Cheers to Duke Orville, man. Thank you very much. And Vivek is asking, baby, what is your bob size? Cheers to Duke Orville, man. A member of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Cheers to you and happy Baller Friday, man. We're just going over the closings of stores that are happening at the end of this year, and it's a lot. I mean, look at Sam Goody. The final 2 stores closed forever. I mean, this is what's happening. These are indicators. Foot Locker closing hundreds of stores by 2025. Family Dollar closing 350 locations by 2025. And all you people that listen to those idiots from Reddit, Wall Street Bets, take a look at this. GameStop announcing mass closures next year. Huh? Are y'all still holding that shit, you morons? And y'all thought I was some dumb boomer. When I said back in April of 2020 is when we started seeing this big uptick, all right, of this Wall Street Bets subreddit in which they inspired a bunch of morons to go out and buy a bunch of dying companies with unbelievable debt, and there's the consequence of it. So, once again, all of you people, all the bad shit that's about to happen in 2025, you brought it on yourself, all right? Anyway, continuing on, CVS Pharmacy closing more stores 2025. Rite Aid will likely close more stores in 2025, closing about 800 plus. JCPenney may also close additional locations. So once again, folks, I mean, indicators all around that the economy is not doing very well. And then you combine that with a lot of the economic policies that have been touted by Trump. For instance, the massive tariffs on everything coming in, all this stuff. I don't even want to go over the litany of different economic policies that Trump has touted, many of which are going to exacerbate the situation that is coming. So once again, all right, I don't know if people are going to be winning in 2025. And let me get to a couple of these Rumble rants here. Belligerent Brian, could you talk a little bit louder, please? Yeah, go shove it up your ass. And Devious Dave, shout out to the foot right. And Blade the Stelron Hunter, those small caps have been doing pretty decent these last days. Opinion on what happens in 2025. Now, let me be honest with you, folks. Anybody who's been in the True Capitalist Radio chat room or the Inner Circle, I have been suggesting that I would not be trading this market at this point in time. We're at levels that we have never seen before. I mean, if you take a look at the chart of the stock market in the past several decades, every time we had some kind of a contraction, I mean, the hill from that contraction wasn't very high. We are at unspeakable amount of over speculative levels on all mega and large cap stocks at this point, and it's only a matter of time before this damn thing starts taking a header. And as you can see, there's been several days in the past several weeks where all of a sudden the market goes down about 2%, 2.5%, and before you know it, what you thought was a profit turns into a loss. That's why I'm only having a basket right now of anything that I'm investing in the equities market. It's a basket of small cap stocks. And as I've stated, every time, at least the small cap stocks that I'm holding, every time the market goes down, the small caps go up. All right? The small caps go up. So that's what it's a very small portion of my portfolio that's small caps right now. What do I have most of my portfolio in? I've told you this ever since March of 2022, and I'm talking about cash, baby, all right? I'm talking about cold, hard cash. And take a look at this. Dollar Eye's best year in almost a decade, baby, huh? What did I tell you? The prognosticator of prognosticators strikes again. And why is cash king? Well, because, folks, at some point here, all right, because we're waiting for everybody to finally recognize that we are in recession, because we are in recession. At some point, people, especially the retail investors that have been a pretty good amount of the over speculation in the stock market, are going to have to sell their equities. They're going to have to sell their crypto in order for them just to maintain their lifestyle, in order for them to maintain the payments of their homes, of their automobiles, and that sort of thing. That is coming soon, believe me. All right? And that's why I've been trying to get everybody prepared for this. Everybody that listens to me, hey, save your cash, save your cash, save your cash. And those with the biggest cash hoards going into this recession are going to be the ones sitting fat off the land. They're going to be rich as hell, and they're going to be able to buy everything that's going to drop in price, from equities to cars. I expect, believe it or not, I'm actually looking forward to the men's luxury watch market crashing. All right? I mean, I want a Jacob & Co. for about 10 grand, all right? That's what I'm waiting for. Everything that's been high-ticket item, everything is going to come down and crash in value. And everybody's going to be fucking selling whatever they have in order for them to eat, in order for them to survive. And that's why I've been trying to prep everybody who listens to this broadcast to save your cash. And that's why most of my portfolio is in cash, baby. So, not to toot my own horn once again, but beep, beep. All right? Anyway, thank you, Blade the Stellron Hunter, and Stream Troll Mike with a Rumble Rant. Merry Christmas, since I didn't make it to the last show. How was the fruitcake? As shitty as ever. And Devious Day, Party Shitty is shutting down. I don't see how it stayed open in business to begin with. Well, it's from debt, obviously. All right, from debt. Five Finger Prostate Punch. I see Alon banned an X account. How long until he gets yours? I don't think so. Take a look at Red Ball with 40 beers, man. Cheers to Red Ball. All right, let me go ahead and read Red Ball's donation, man. 40 beers in the house. Cheers to you. Happy Baller Friday. And you know that's a capitalist, man. So once again, cheers to Red Ball. And he said, Ghost, the prognosticator of prognosticators, most badass in the internet broadcasting. Hope your Christmas was a great one and looking forward to your straight political dope in 2025. Thank you so much for keeping it real. Love TCR. Take care, man. Happy New Year to you, and cheers, baby, cheers. Well, thank you, Red Ball, and thank you to Duke Orbill. Cheers to you guys, man, and I appreciate that you appreciate the serious content and are not a bunch of troll terrorists like many of the folks that are in Rumble, putting up a bunch of Rumble rants. Rox asks, can I get an invite to the IC or the Thunderdome? What are you talking about? Maybe the Thunderdome, definitely not the IC. And Alexander the Resurrection, I'm going to release audio of you drinking milk from... All right, I'm not going to say that. And Duke Orbill, I'm sitting on cash except where I can't sell. Hey, I'm telling you, man, that's why I have not been trading this market. Many people know that I'm a very aggressive day trader. I am not an aggressive day trader in this market. Anybody who recognizes the opportunities of day trading recognize this. In bull markets, in the pre-market before the actual bell rings, typically you're going to have a lot of volume and a lot of percentage increases on certain stocks based upon news, based upon developments, earnings, hype, whatever. And what traditionally happens in bull markets, and I say this a lot, once the bell rings, all right, that stock that was heavy and going up percentage-wise in the pre-market, once it hits the market and the market bell rings, typically it goes up, then it takes a slight dip, and then it goes up again and keeps going up until it levels off. That's typically what happens in bull market when it comes to day trading. Nowadays, folks, the complete opposite is happening. If you try to get into a day trade in which you see some activity in the stock in the pre-market, whether it's high volume, whether it's high percentage increases, what ends up happening is at the beginning of the bell, the stock goes up, and then miraculously, it just starts decaying throughout the day. It just decays throughout the day. So it is a big risk right now. All the day traders probably know what I'm talking about. Very big risk to day trade. Very big risk to even pattern trade or swing trade at this point. That's why the only thing that I have in the stock market right now are small cap growth stocks or even micro cap even. And what that means is that stocks that aren't necessarily the most popular in the market right now, but actually have either growth or have profitability and just don't have the market spotlight at this point because everybody is investing in these ridiculous over-speculated mega caps like the Nvidias and the Teslas and the Apples and that sort of thing. So that's what I'm waiting for, and the True Capitalist Radio member chat will attest to this, that many of these that we've been affiliated with pop up out of nowhere. And that's what you want in a small cap stock. It's a long-term investment because at some point that small cap, and remember, you want to read into what you're investing as well. You want to make sure they have a path to growth. Once they have a path to growth and you see that they're profiting every quarter, that's the kind of investment you want to get in a recession, in a down market. Because, folks, what happens when the sell-offs in mega caps and large caps happen and we have a recession, we have a major contraction in the stock market, the institutional investors call it a great rotation, in which they take money from the mega caps and large caps that they've been riding during the bull market and they reposition it into small cap stocks. And in recessions, that's why they call a recession market a stock picker's market, because you have to now do your homework and not listen to some jerk off on some subreddit in Wall Street Bets or some shit. And Five Finger Prostate Punch said, invest in drone tech. Well, that's a good long-term investment. I think another good long-term investment, me and Duke Orville have discussed this many times in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, energy. All right, fucking energy. Anything, especially nuclear. I mean, we're going into an age where our energy demands are going to be so high that we're not going to be able to develop enough energy resources to be able to suffice this shit. So nuclear energy, in my opinion, is looking pretty lucrative, considering that AI requires a lot of energy in order to process whatever it's induced to process. And moreover, we got the Internet of Things, we got cell phones, we got electric cars now. So that's another long-term investment as far as I'm concerned. And cheers to Duke Orville of the Rumble, giving everybody the 411 on a few companies there. So anyway, let's go from the stock market and let's talk a little bit about the crypto market here. Put the PC shot on. Major contraction, as I stated. I mean, we saw Bitcoin go up to, 107,000 here recently, now down to 94,000. As I stated, I told everybody to take a look at Bitcoin once it started going into about the 26,000 range. And I said to hold it to whenever you feel comfortable enough to sell it. But I warned everybody, don't hold this shit for the long term. All right? It's never going to get to these unspeculated levels that these idiots that are trying to pump this shit are going to say, like $1 million, or I heard one idiot say that Bitcoin's going to be worth $500 billion. All this ridiculous nonsense. It's hype. It's crap. All right? It's not going to happen. And what's going to happen is they're trying to get as many suckers to buy Bitcoin at the highest price possible. And as I stated, the concentration of ownership of Bitcoin is literally a small handful of people. All right, a handful of people. You've got Satoshi, whoever the hell that guy is, CIA. You've got BlackRock, which is the second largest Bitcoin holder, which in 17 they said that Bitcoin was crap. Now they're the second largest Bitcoin holder. I've told you reasons why for that, but I don't want to get into it now. And then you've got MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, that fucking guy. Then you got all these other dorks that mined it back in the day. So you've got a very small amount of people that own a majority of this Bitcoin, and they're the ones that are going to reap the rewards of not only the high price of Bitcoin, but these guys have a vested interest. Now that Bitcoin is being integrated with the ETF system and institutional Wall Street instruments, they have a vested interest in shorting and crashing this damn thing. Now, I said on the last broadcast that George Soros in the 90s, he shorted the British pound. And you compare the British pound with the dollar, I mean, it's not much of a difference. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it can be down on the dollar, it can be up, but it's never going to be 100,000 or 90,000, all right, against the dollar. And as I stated, in the 90s, when George Soros shorted the British pound, he made $1 billion in one fucking day. $1 billion in one fucking day. Just imagine these fucking giants, these fucking whales that own Bitcoin, if they willingly sold off 15% of their holdings, crashed the market, and shorted it at the same time, they're going to make more money shorting Bitcoin than they did pumping up the price to the current price of whatever, 100,000, whatever it's going to be. So I warn people, all right, do not believe this Bitcoin hype. All right. And even if it does get to 125, 130,000, it's never going to get any higher than that. Once it gets that high, people that have been buying from the $50,000 range lower have a vested interest in making sure to crash this damn thing to make a fortune. Make a fortune. So don't be a part of that. All right. Now, if you're going to invest in anything and play it safe, and I think that these are good plays because we're seeing a contraction in the crypto market, I'd be eyeballing XRP and Cardano because these two entities had the inside track of the Trump administration, and Trump's administration has promised that they're going to have some kind of reform or some kind of regulation on cryptocurrency, and these are the two entities that are in the ear of Trump at this point. All right. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to make the Bitcoin money, but we did see Cardano go up to about, let's go ahead and take a look at the max chart on that. We saw Cardano go up to as high as almost $3. All right. I think it could go up to $5 in a major bull market if there's news released about crypto regulation in the Trump administration. And remember, the guy who created this coin is in the ear of Trump on crypto regulation, the guy that created Cardano. So this isn't a bad move, and XRP, in my opinion, all right, is not a bad move either. I think that this becomes the digital currency, in my personal opinion. And moreover, it defeats the purpose of cryptocurrency, because lest we forget that cryptocurrency was intended to be a ledger, a public ledger that was not centralized, okay? And that's what XRP or Ripple is. It is a centralized private ledger that is controlled by the owners of that ledger. Now, that's why, we're Bitcoin and using it as a currency is out of the question. The fact that you've got institutional investors claiming that this is an asset class now is a joke. It's an utter joke. So anyway, that's my 411 on what's going on in the markets. Now let's make a transition, no pun intended, into the domestic politics, folks. And look, the title of this show is that I'm taking a victory lap because what did I tell all of you MAGA people since the beginning, going back to the GOP primary? This is why I didn't want Trump to be a part of the GOP. I didn't want him to run for president. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. Why? Because Trump didn't run on anything. And the only thing that he did run on was the border and immigration. And I told you he ain't going to do shit about it. And guess what? The prognosticator strikes again, baby. Take a look at this. All-out MAGA civil war engulfs Trump already before he even takes office. Now, for those that don't know, there is a major schism going on in MAGA right now, and it has everything to do with Elon Musk. Now, I told you, folks, that after the assassination attempt of Trump, all of a sudden he got himself very close to the PayPal mafia. All right? And I'm talking the Peter Thiels, the Elon Musk, the David Sacks, those types of folks. And I said, they're pouring massive amounts of money into his campaign, and they're not going to just pull PUD and just pretend to write it off and let Trump do what he's going to do. You know what I'm saying? And now that Trump is going to be into power, now they're coming to collect. And I told you, folks, didn't I tell you that Trump was going to lie his ass off, and he wasn't going to fulfill any of the shit that he said in the campaign? And I'll get to those buy me a coffees in just a second. He was not going to fulfill anything that he said on the campaign trail. As a matter of fact, he threw shit at a wall to see what sticks when it came to the campaign trail. And I told you all, and everybody called me a Democrat, everybody called me some fucking liberal, and look who's laughing now. Look who's laughing now. Now, for those that are out of the sync of what I'm talking about, you have to be on X or Twitter or whatever you want to refer to it as to understand what the hell's going on here. Now, believe it or not, over the Christmas break, Elon Musk found it an ample opportunity to express his feelings about H-1B1 visas. And he tweeted out how we need to double the amount of H-1 visas necessary in order to import engineers that are scarce, supposedly, in America. And this kind of spawned a debate, and not only did it spawn a debate, finally, some of these morons in MAGA started, I don't know, they took their fucking blinders off. I don't know what happened, but they started recognizing, wait a minute, there's an awful lot of Indians in the cabinet here. Something doesn't, something's afoot here. Well, no shit. Do y'all remember right when Trump got elected? I was a little melancholy because I knew that we were not headed for a good America, because I knew this shit was going to happen. Didn't I tell you that Trump is he's not going to deport a bunch of people? All right? He's going to actually allow more people to come in. The only people that he's going to deport are the fucking Mexicans and the Latins that are out here doing the labor in the livestock and agricultural arena and other hard labor jobs. So, as I stated on those 2 episodes after the election, you people in MAGA, you traded up a bunch of Catholic, family-oriented, simple, very hardworking people in the Latin people, and you traded them up with a bunch of Indians from India who are now going to take what are, either 6 or 7 figure jobs in tech. All right? They're going to take 6 or 7 figure jobs in tech, and they're going to reduce them to 5-figure jobs. So I told you, and I asked you all right, what's better? What's better? The illegals that are coming in here and taking the low-paying jobs, the hard labor jobs, the agriculture jobs. I mean, do we get rid of them? And then what? I mean, we up the price on cheap labor to American people who don't want to fucking work for it to begin with? And then we bring in a bunch of Hindus and a bunch of Indians in order to take the tech jobs, which, by the way, the tech jobs is one of the few industries where you can generously be gainfully employed. As I stated, 6 or 7 figure jobs. Now they're going to be reduced to 5 figures because of the H-1B visa debate. And you all know that this is going to happen. And by the way, put the PC shot on. Elon Musk, took a lot of flack. He was asked a lot of questions when he expressed his fondness for doubling the amount of H-1 visa immigrants into the country. And, you know, he said a lot of stuff. He said Elon Musk fuels H-1B debate, endorses post calling America's too retarded for skilled jobs. I'm not joking around. Now, this is what I'm talking about out here, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, this Autism Capital, I hate this stupid fucking account. But anyway, so basically, the right is split into two factions, tech right and the right. The tech right is like, hey, we need H-1 visa for people to do the jobs. And the right is like, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, but you guys are retarded. And then Elon Musk, what does he say? That pretty much sums it up. Huh? That pretty much sums it up. I told all of you that this was going to happen. And you idiots, being the cult of personality, mindless morons that you are, decided that, no, it's not, Ghost. It's Maga. It's Donald Trump. He's going to take care of American people. He's going to make America white again, or whatever the fuck you all thought. All right? Whatever you thought, complete opposite. And guess what? Where's Trump and where's J.D. Vance amidst all this shit that's happening on X and Twitter? They're just fucking silent, huh? They're too fucking ashamed to come out and have to explain this to their constituency because, let's be honest, folks, all right? I think it's ironic and I think it's funny that many of the folks in the MAGA chattering class, all right, that were grifting off of Trump, I find it funny that they're now finding it like shocking that they don't matter anymore. Hey, MAGA chattering class, you don't matter anymore. All right, the election has been won. All right, Trump has been bought. There's no reason to have you have any significance anymore. And you know what? Elon Musk, he agrees with me as well. Because did you hear what happened? Take a look at this. Anybody who criticized Elon Musk and his H-1B visa debate, take a look at this. Elon Musk's critics stripped of certification badges after publicly challenging the billionaire, the beginning stages of censorship. I couldn't believe you MAGA people when Elon Musk bought Twitter and you thought that this guy was just going to give you unfettered free speech, whatever you want, especially to criticize the guy that owns the joint. And you thought that you were, what? You were protected by the First Amendment? And I'll get to you in a minute there, Menno Ray. Cheers to you. But once again, folks, here you go. All right, I told you this was going to happen. And guess who are the ones that got their verification badges taken away and their monetization taken away? All right-wingers. Take a look at this. Trump ally Laura Loomer, New York Young Republican Club President Gavin Wax, InfoWars host Oren Sawyer. All right, and the pro-Trump conservative pack were all stripped of their verification badges and monetization after criticizing Musk's controversial remarks about American workers and foreign H-1B visa holders. Huh? How do you like that? Oh, my God. And everybody can't believe it. Look at Owen Sawyer over here. He can't believe it. This guy was one of the biggest fucking Elon Musk simps because his boss was. And now all of a sudden, take a look at this. Let's listen.
All right, guys. I'm going to tell you everything I know about the current phenomenon of censorship on X. Yes, that's what I said. Censorship on X.
Oh.
Now let's explain what's happened and how we got here quickly.
First of all, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no empathy for anybody who gets banned. I've been getting banned off platforms for 18 fucking years for the shit that I say. All right? And nobody gave a flying fuck about me getting banned or censored. All right? Fucking piece of shit Stream Elements. They censored me for no fucking reason. Fuck you, Stream Elements, you fucking piece of shit. All right, fucking Twitter banned my original GhostPolitics account like 12 years ago, and it's still fucking banned. All right, I've been banned off platforms. I've been banned off transaction companies. I've been banned on all this shit. Nobody gave a flying fuck. And I told you all back then, every time I got banned, I told you fucking idiots, yeah, you all think it's funny. Yeah, you all think it's hilarious. Y'all are using censorship in order to troll until it comes and hits your fucking ass. And that's exactly what's happening now. That's exactly what's happening now. So I'm sorry, I'm not pro-censorship or anything, but I'm not feeling too much empathy of people crying about, oh my God, they censored me, they took my shit off, they took the... Well, you know what? Welcome to the club. All right, welcome to the club. And look at this. Look at this. I tweeted this earlier. MAGA grifters on suicide watch, and this chief Trumpster idiot. This was some, big pro-Trump moron. And take a look at that. Analytics, monetization gone. All right? I just find it amazingly funny that you MAGA people, you talking heads, the MAGA chattering class, you all thought that you mattered. You all thought that you actually had some kind of influence on the administration. You were just using Trump for the grift money, and he was using you for the clout. All right? You are no longer needed. All right? There's a bunch of Trump grifters out there. You fucking little peons out there, you are no longer needed. So nobody gives a shit if you're demonetized, if you're kicked off platforms. And let me tell you something right now to all you MAGA grifters that are now getting removed from X or getting banned or getting demonetized or your verification getting taken away. Let me tell you something right now. When you get banned from a platform where you have a plethora, where you got hundreds of thousands or millions of subs, okay? If you get banned from there, you'll be lucky if 5 or 10% of those people follow you to another platform. It's like completely eliminating everything that you've worked for, all the audience that you've built up. That's the way it is, okay? That's the way it is. So I, Ghost, have been operating in a plethora of different platforms, bouncing around and shit, just for the things that I fucking say. And I don't say anything ridiculous. I just say the truth. The truth. So that's why I'm telling you all right now, you MAGA grifters, y'all better have saved your money because you are no longer needed and the grift is just about over. All right? You're not going to be able to make as much money anymore just saying, yeah, MAGA, pro-Trump. That shit doesn't work anymore. You're no longer needed, and I'm not sad about it. I'll be honest with you. There's too many of these MAGA grifters to begin with, and they have no fucking talent. They have no fucking good takes. They have no fucking policies that they're trying to promote. They're just a bunch of fucking rabid idiots fucking saying, pro-Trump, yay, MAGA, pro-Trump, yeah, MAGA. That's all they fucking do, and I'm tired of it. Anyway, we got a few Rumble rants here. Five-finger prostate punch. You finally got something you predicted right. Yeah, fuck off. And Belligerent Brian, true. Yeah, fuck you, Belligerent Brian. I'm not fucking reading those. Look at your options. It's either trannies or Indians, according to a five-finger prostate punch. And Devious Dave in Oklahoma, the Indians already took over, and they have their own hospitals, and they get free license plates there. Hey, well, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Come on. And Arrogant Bastard Ghost running a little late. Hope your Christmas went well. It actually went pretty well, I'll be honest with you, man. The family, did pretty well this year. And Not Doomcat. Hey, Ghost, I want to hear the irony. Here's Twitter screenshot of Elon getting ratioed and then deleting the account. Hey, Not Doomcat, I know exactly what you're talking about, but let's go ahead and talk about it since it's on subject. All right, since it's on subject here, hold on just a second. Let me go ahead and get the appropriate link here. Cheers to Not Doomcat. But here it is. Put the PC shot on. Here's the tweet in question that Elon Musk put out. No, we need to more double down that number yesterday. He's talking about the H-1B visa folk. And the number of people who are super talented engineers and are super motivated in the U.S. is far too low. Think of this like pro team sports. if you want your team to win the championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever they may be. That enables the whole team to win. Now, this person, and I have seen this person responded to Elon Musk, and their account is now gone. But the response was, my son graduated with honors with electrical and computer engineering degrees in 2023. He cannot get an interview, let alone a job. Any white male he knew in college can't get jobs either. Many are currently working in data center jobs that don't require their education. Now, that's what Doomcap wanted us to take a look at, and subsequently, this account is no longer valid. It's no longer around. And many people speculate it's because he kind of put Elon Musk in a little bit of a pickle when it comes to him promoting H-1B visas. All right? So, as I was stating, folks, all right, let me read some of these Buy Me a Coffees before I move on, because, I mean, we got a lot to talk about here, man. This is, I told you all this was going to happen, all right? Put the PC shot on. What is this? Now a financial investment. Would it be wise to invest into oil like Chevron or Marathon Petroleum? Well, it depends on how you want to invest in it. Some of the petroleum companies have what you call dividends. And really, you know, if you're a conservative investor and you're a high earner, instead of, you know, saving your money in a bank, for instance, you want to maybe try to accumulate as many high-yield dividend stocks as possible in order for those dividends to pay you per share that you own of that stock. Now, you have to look for, you know, the oil companies that pay dividends, how much they pay dividends, but that is really the end goal. If you want to be an old investor, you want to do all this bull market, day trading, pattern trading, you know, all this risky stuff in the beginning of your life, and then accumulate capital so that you can acquire massive amounts of high-yield dividend stocks, so that every quarter you get a payment from the stocks that you own of these types of stocks that you're mentioning. Chevron, Marathon, Exxon, that sort of thing. So I hope that helps, man. Cheers to you. All right, Pumper's Toilet, by the way. And Ghost Number One fan, hey, bestie, I can see you. I really enjoy the big Christmas gathering. You and your family are so close. It's just beautiful. Hope you have a good show, and I'm looking forward to spending New Year's Eve by your side. And to the trolls and haters of Ghost, remember this. If you ever feel safe, just remember, I don't know what the hell that says, but thank you, Ghost Number One fan. And then we've got Meadow Ray. I had to deal with, it's a derogatory term for Indian, taking our company jobs. We shelled out $50K a month on Indian contracting service. I called out the CTO and said that they're essentially copying the work and creating little innovation. Needless to say, we dropped the Indians and hired 3 engineers that have innovated better work than they did. Cheap labor isn't innovation. Elon is wrong. Well, there you go. I mean, people have their own sentiments about this, and this is what's been taking the stage out here on X. All right? Now, I'm just going to say the following, okay? I told you all that this was going to happen. Didn't I make mention of the PayPal mafia at the beginning, right after the assassination attempt of Trump? Is when I brought up the PayPal mafia, the Elon Musk, the Peter Thiels, the David Saxes, and that the amount of money that they were injecting into Trump's campaign, that they were going to demand something. All right, they're going to demand something in return. And you're seeing it right now. That's why all you folks that thought you mattered, you know, like you were some Maga grifter and you thought that you had some influence and shit, your services are no longer needed. And that's why you're being deplatformed. That's why you're being demonetized. And that's why Trump isn't saying a goddamn thing. Even Laura Loomer was by Trump's side most of the campaign. She has now been ousted. All right? Trump is now going with his money men, which are the big tech fools, and that's who he's going to be loyal to. Okay? So let this be a lesson to all you idiots that try to call me a liberal, that try to call me a Democrat because I didn't want Trump to run for the GOP nomination. Look, we didn't have much to choose from in the GOP anyway. I mean, remember, I said that the best of the bunch was Chris Christie out of New Jersey. And look, Chris Christie doesn't look that bad of a deal now, does it? Huh? And let me explain why, okay? This isn't the only battle that Trump has to deal with, the tech bros. You know, the hypocrisy of policies that he's going to have to sign, like expanding the H-1B visa shit. But also, he has internal struggles of trying to get people in his own cabinet. All right? Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. The fate of Trump's cabinet picks remain unclear as Republicans prepare to take power in the Senate. Now, I told you all that Trump, even though he may win the election as president, he has to have clout amongst the party. And the only way that you're going to have clout amongst the party is if you have policies, if you have ideas. Because most people in politics, they either kind of are chummy with each other or they absolutely hate each other. I mean, that's the only two that you're either chummy or you hate each other. And the only thing that keeps people loyal, especially in the bureaucratic government of the United States, is policy. And that's why I criticized Trump throughout the whole campaign, that he has no real policy. And if you have no policy, you have no morals, then you're not going to have the loyalty of the folks that are in the bureaucracy, that are in the Senate, that are in the House. Because they're going to be there after Trump's gone. I mean, most folks that are in the Senate and the House, they're there for decades. So they're not just thinking about what Trump wants. They're thinking about what's good for them in the long term while keeping them secure in the short term. And you see, that's what, I don't know if Trump doesn't understand that. I don't know if the people around him didn't understand that. You fucking idiots certainly didn't understand that. I tried to eloquently explain that many times throughout the whole fucking campaign, and you idiots just, hey, you're a Democrat, you're a moron, yeah. Look who the moron is now. Look who the moron is now. Didn't I tell you all that Trump 2024 was no different than Obama 2008? Didn't I tell you that? And take a look at the policies that are now being advocated. And where's Trump? Where's J.D. Vance on all this shit? Silent, not saying a goddamn thing. So there you go, MAGA. All right? I told you so. And the reason I knew this, because I've been around politics, man. All right, politics isn't about loyalty to one person just because they got, I don't know what, you like them on the goddamn Apprentice or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever cult of personality motivation that you people have, this affinity that you have for Trump, that's not what American politics is about. American politics is about electing the most electable person that is advocating policy that will bring betterment to America and the general American public. There was no policy being advocated by Trump. Not one. He just threw shit at a wall to see what sticks. He said, hey, I'll put no tax-free on tips. Never going to happen. Tax-free on overtime. Never going to happen. All right? I'm going to fucking... he said everything for you idiots to be like, yay! And didn't outline how he was going to do it. Didn't outline like, hey, I'm going to make tips tax-free because I know that I've got at least 40% of senators. I know at least 30% of House of Representatives that are on board with me on this. And we can make it happen. No, he didn't fucking say that. He just told you idiots what you wanted to hear because you're a bunch of morons and you believe what you fucking hear. As a matter of fact, you believe what the authority tells you. The whole COVID episode is proof of that. So once again, I told you all so, all right? I told you all so. So the next time you people try to flap your fat Cheeto-stained fingers on the keyboard and try to talk malarkey against me and my takes on politics, you need to look at your stupid, ignorant ass in the mirror and recognize how fucking gullible you idiots are and think how idiotic you feel now after you thought, after the fucking election, you won something, huh? Yay, I won, yay! You didn't win shit, all right? And everybody that you blabbed to about how you were so pro-Trump and how you wanted immigrants to be kicked out of America and how you wanted to make America white again or whatever the fuck you people thought, now everybody that you said that to is going to look at you like a fucking idiot. And you know what? You deserve it. All right? You people are morons. I mean, if you want my opinion, I think we need voter reform, if you want my personal opinion, because people are too fucking stupid to understand that that's what politics is about. It's not about loyalty to some fucking moron because, hey, look at me, I'm Donald Trump, I got a skunk on my head, I have The Apprentice, and look at me. It's not about that, you stupid moron. It's about making the country better. That's what a country made for the people and by the people is all about, you stupid, dumb fucking cult of personality, fucking simplistic idiots. Christ. But no, these fucking people out here, they're going to fall on their sword for this stupid shit. That's why they're splitting hairs. That's why all these MAGA people that were touting about, immigration, that's why they're now all of a sudden bending their fucking views on this shit all of a sudden. All right? They're bending their views on this shit all of a sudden. And it just goes to show you, you people, you have no morals yourself. You have no principles. You have no policy yourself. All right? Some fucking idiot comes in, hey, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You fucking believe it. You're idiots. You're morons. And let me tell you, if you think that, hey, the best is yet to come, Ghost, you don't understand, man. These guys, MAGA, they're going to make America great again. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you right now. I'm not too sure what's going to happen from now until January 20th. And I'm going to explain that right now, okay? I'm going to explain that right now. Now, we talked about right now that the Republicans are taking power and Trump's cabinet picks, a lot of them seem dead on arrival. Now, aside from that, the Matt Gaetz thing, okay? And I want to bring up this because this goes to show you that when he chose Matt Gaetz to be his potential attorney general, aside from it being a fucking dumb decision, all right? A fucking ridiculous, stupid decision. How the hell are you going to take the political capital that you got from winning the election by a landslide and throw some fucking minor philandering fucking sex trafficking piece of shit like Gaetz as the goddamn attorney general? Huh? And guess what? I'm glad the ethics committee released the report on this piece of shit. All right? I'm glad because, look, before the report was out, many of you MAGA idiots were out here trying to vouch for Matt Gaetz. Y'all were out here trying to defend him, and you all are documented. You're documented for fucking defending Matt Gaetz. If you're going to defend this fuck, might as well defend fucking Hunter Biden, you fucking morons. Jesus Christ, put the PC shot on. Matt Gaetz' ethics report says his drug use and sex with a minor violated state laws. Huh? And all you MAGA idiots were out here trying to hold water for this fucking sex abusing piece of shit. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. And once again, if you had a family member that tried to fucking talk up this Matt Gaetz, even though everyone knows that he's a fucking piece of shit, you rub it in these people's faces. All right? The same people that were talking shit about Hunter Biden and all these other fucking people that are on the other side, which I agree with, we should be talking about these fucking degenerates. Here we have on MAGA side, oh, Matt Gaetz, the top cop. I mean, what kind of sense does this fucking make? I mean, I've said this before, Trump obviously does not vet any of these people that he picks for prominent positions. If he did, he would have seen this. He would have seen what the fuck's going on with Pete Hegseth, which is the Defense Department head, or the defense secretary, a potential defense secretary. I mean, what kind of responsibility is this? I mean, what kind of shit is this by a fucking so-called president? Now, once again, I know many of you who tweeted at me, who chatted with me, that tried to defend this Matt Gaetz piece of shit. You all now have a stain on you. All right? As a matter of fact, if you want my opinion, everybody that defended Matt Gaetz, and now that the facts have come out, you might as well join NAMBLA, you fucking stupid pieces of fucking shit, all right? Because you're no better than those fucking idiots if you're going to defend this scumbag. Go join NAMBLA, you fucking Woody Allen butt-loving pedophile. All right, take this fucking shit off of here. Fuck Matt Gaetz. And by the way, he's not going to get prosecuted. His buddies in Florida ain't going to prosecute him for the crimes that he's been documented of committing. So there you go. All right? And on top of which, take a look at this. Former FBI and CIA head prods Senate to reject Patel, which is an Indian that wants to be appointed to the goddamn head of the FBI, and Gabbard, which is another fucking half-Indian that wants to be the head of the Department of Intelligence. So, I mean, not looking good for MAGA right now. And once again, I mean, this is major L's that are being taken by Trump. The fact that Matt Gaetz had to step down and this ridiculous, disgusting fucking House ethics report came out about him being a fucking disgusting statutory rapist. I mean, I just can't believe that Trump didn't vet this asshole. All right? I mean, this doesn't make Trump look good at all. All right? This doesn't make Trump look good or responsible or even in charge at all. So anyway, doesn't look good for his picks. All right? And I'm glad. Put the shot back on. I'm glad the Republican Party is finally coming up and recognizing that, look, even though Donald Trump did aid the Republican Party into getting this majority win in the election in 2024, we're not going to let this asshole come in and think that he's going to dictate to us who are going to be here long after Trump is gone. All right? And Trump didn't advocate any goddamn policies. Do you understand that? That's what policy is. Something that you are passionate about. Something that you feel strongly about, something that resonates with the American people. That's going to force the system to do what you say. But you see, try to explain that to you fucking morons. It's like trying to explain, quantum physics to a fucking tard. Anyway, let me tell you a couple of these Rumble rants. Arrogant bastard, the problem with this kind of politics is that these bozos all come from the same schools. They're as corrupt as each other. And arrogant bastard, Democrats equal Republicans. And belligerent Brian, hey, go get Elon censor people on Twitter. It's what he's doing. Arrogant bastard, the problem with that is what you're saying, Ghost, is on the Democrat side, those fucking tards are just voting based on race and gender. Well, not anymore. I mean, this election kind of nullified that. It's a fucking joke. We need to clean both houses. I do agree. Urinator, hey, bitch, just got done with work. Well, good. Go back to work and, go drink some bleach. Arrogant bastard, Matt Chester Gates. Yeah, Chester the molester. Anyway, once again, MAGA taking L's all over the place. I don't know how anybody can now defend Trump, Elon, or any of this shit after all this crap. But hey, it doesn't end there. It does not end there, because let me tell you what could potentially happen. They have to vote, okay? I think it's on January 3rd, I believe. They have to vote on a new House Speaker. And let me tell you, after this ridiculous debacle to extend the debt ceiling here recently, and how Elon's influence kind of perturbed a lot of the Republicans, a lot of the Freedom Caucus, and that sort of thing, they don't want the current Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to be the fucking Speaker of the House anymore. All right, put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. Former Freedom Caucus chair on Johnson. I'm going to keep my options open. So right now, what we are witnessing right now, folks, is a potential constitutional crisis if there is nobody to certify the votes by January 20th. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, let me explain this, because I don't think you MAGA-tards understand that, the possibility of Trump maybe not taking office is there, and it's because of the bureaucratic process and the fucking bickering amongst the stupid fucking Republican Party. Take a look at this. MAGA crisis could mean that there is no Trump inauguration on January 20th. Take a look at this. With Mike Johnson's speakership in peril, lawmakers worry the House won't be able to certify Donald Trump's re-election victory. I'm not joking, folks. I'm not joking. The MAGAverse could be on the brink of exploding into an all-out encompassing constitutional crisis, with Donald Trump's own inauguration as possible collateral. The incoming Congress is scheduled to start on January 3rd, but following the bruising pre-Christmas battle to keep the government open, Republican lawmakers, including President-elect Trump, have turned on House Speaker Mike Johnson. Without a speaker, the House of Representatives could become paralyzed and unable to certify Trump's re-election victory, plunging the Capitol and the country into political crisis and chaos. Now, according to the Constitution, each new session of Congress begins at noon, January 3rd. In the House of Representatives, the first order of business is for the House to elect and choose a new speaker, who is then swears in the newly elected representatives. Okay, so that's the first deal of business. All right. For about 100 years, this step was just a formality. But experts have worried for months that Republicans are so divided that they may not choose a speaker in time to count and certify the presidential election results, which by law must happen on January 6th. All right, in a joint session of the House and Senate. Now, lawmakers don't need to finish the certification on the same day, but the process has to wrap up by noon, January 20th, when the Constitution says the outgoing presidential term ends. The problem is that the incoming House Speaker must receive an overall majority of all the votes cast, not just a majority of the leading party's votes. The incoming House will have 443 members, usually 435, but Representative Matt Gaetz dropped out following the allegations of sexual misconduct and his failed nomination to be the Attorney General, meaning Johnson needs at least 218 votes to hold his position. But the Republicans hold such a slim majority with 219 seats to the Democrats' 215 that even a few defectors would cost Johnson his speakership. Representative Tom Massey has already said that he wouldn't vote for Johnson, and several other Republicans remain undecided. So this is where we're at right now, all right? This is where we're at. If they don't have a Speaker of the House, which you saw what happened in the 2022 congressional session with McCarthy and all that nonsense, I mean, we probably are not going to have an elected president. I mean, this is legit. This is legit. Some constitutional law scholars said the joint session could proceed even without a speaker. Others thought that the House clerk could potentially swear in the newly elected members of the House if both parties agree, or Republicans could elect a temporary speaker whose term expires on a particular day. If those efforts fail, there would be no one to certify Trump's election victory in time for the inauguration. Republican lawmakers rejected the idea of an acting speaker when Johnson was chosen in October of 2023, but a raging Trump, whose inauguration would be at stake, might be enough to install one by this time. It's not clear who would that be, though after this week's government shutdown debacle drove an Elon Musk-sized wedge between Trump and Johnson, the government funding set to expire at midnight on December 19th, Congress was about to pass bipartisan continuing resolution bill to keep the government open through March until the world's richest man began trashing the agreement. So this is where we're at, okay? If the election isn't certified by January 20th, the Constitution is clear that Biden's term has ended, taking him and Vice President Kamala Harris out of the line of presidential succession. The Speaker of the House would be the next in theory, but since that position would be empty, it would be passed to the Senate President pro tempore, the majority party's most senior senator. And that would be Chuck Grassley of Iowa, which is 91 in September. So this is where we're at. All right, Chuck Grassley could potentially become president if the damn Republicans don't get a House Speaker by January 20th. So unfucking believable. So once again, not looking good for Maga. All right, absolutely not looking good for Maga. But luckily for Maga, the Democrats are in complete fucking shambles. So there is no way for them to even exploit this to any capacity. All right, take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Democrat strategists call for new generation of leaders as party plots response to Trump's victory. Well, I'll tell you this. The Democrats need to take a step away from identity politics. And if you want my personal opinion, go back to Blue Dog Democrat days, in my view. This Ocasio-Cortez, these just ridiculous ideas and policies of trans rights and whether or not men can go into women's bathrooms and all this shit that these progressive promote, it's over. All right, it's over. It's done. I think that the election, if you're going to observe it and then look at it in any way, it is an absolute rejection of identity politics. So I don't know where the Democrats are going to find Blue Dog Democrats. I mean, you had Joe Manchin, but Joe Manchin retired and trashed the current Democrat party right now. So I don't know. Democrats are in shambles, luckily for the Republicans. And moreover, they don't really have any inspiring people over there. They're all a bunch of disingenuous blowhards. So luckily for the Republicans, the Democrats are in shambles. But remember, the Democrats work fast. I mean, look at how they did after the 2016 election. I thought that we would never see a Democrat elected after the release of the Democrat emails that basically gave the 2016 election to Trump. 2 years later, they won the majority in the House and Senate. So while the Republicans are out here pulling pud and I don't know what the fuck they're doing, the Democrats are working in an attempt to try to revitalize whatever it is they want their new identity to be. All right?
I'd buy that for $1.
AOC, I'm not reading that, you sick son of a bitch. Anyway, let's transition, no pun intended, from domestic politics into a little bit of some international politics, all right? Now, speaking of Trump, you all know that I was not necessarily for Trump because I knew he was disingenuous about a lot of the policies he was advocating and his simping for Putin. And as I stated, when he got elected, I said that this is going to put America in a vulnerable situation because Vladimir Putin, amongst other leaders as well, is going to take Donald Trump's diplomatic attempts at peace as a sign of weakness. And this is the exact same foreign policy as Barack Obama did in 2008. Y'all remember Barack Obama's policy, his foreign policy? Hey, they'll love me. And he did that apology tour all across the world. And guess what? It made America look like a bitch. All right? It made America look like a bitch. And that's exactly what Trump is making us look like right now with this simping for Putin. And guess what? Putin is taking advantage of it. Putin is taking advantage of it. Take a look at this. World War III fears as U.S. is warned, prepare for Putin's land grab to reestablish the Soviet Union. Leaders in the U.S. and Europe have been urged to prepare for conflict with Russia as a deal to end the Ukraine war will not stop Putin from trying to take further territory. I agree with this. I agree. I mean, I've told you all we have been fucking with Putin ever since 1999. Remember when George Bush Jr. first, kind of had that powwow with him in Crawford, Texas, and they were shoveling hay, and they came out with that press conference, and Bush Jr. said, I saw into his soul, and I saw there was a good man in there. Yeah, take a look at that. Fucking 2006, he invades Georgia, for fuck's sake. And the only reason that he got out of Georgia was because he knew that the fucking neocons and Bush Jr. are a bunch of lunatics, and they would have no problem just going in there and fucking, doing their thing. So they pulled out of Georgia. Then Obama came along, okay? Then Obama came along with his, hey, they'll love me foreign policy, and tried to reset relations with Russia. And take a look at where that happened. 2012, they annexed Crimea. All right? Then you have Trump come in 16, literally fluffs, becomes Putin's fluffer, and Putin bought time until Biden came along. And then when Biden came along, he used this excuse that, oh, NATO made me invade another country, and that's where we're at right now. So how many more countries does this jerk-off have to invade before we recognize that Putin is not somebody that can be negotiated with at this point? And the only thing that we should do when it comes to negotiation, all right, is negotiate with whatever's left after Putin is no longer in power or is eliminated. That's it. End of story. End of story. And, you know, I don't understand how Trump believes in his head that by simping for this piece of shit is somehow going to make America stronger, is somehow going to make America, more respected. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. But look, is Trump going to continue to sing the praises of Putin after the Azerbaijan airline situation? Y'all heard about this, right? That plane that just went down randomly in Azerbaijan. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Photos from the Azerbaijan jet suggest a missile strike over Russia, according to experts. So now you've got Putin, or at least his men, or people that are acting, in a military capacity for him, shooting down commercial airlines. I mean, this is an act of terrorism. This is terrorism now. I mean, this isn't warfare. This isn't some action being conducted in the military theater. This is actual terrorism. So is Trump going to now negotiate with a terrorist state? Because that's what this is. And once upon a time, America didn't negotiate with terrorists. I didn't negotiate with terrorists. So my question is, MAGA and all the Trump folks, are y'all going to continue to simp for Putin? And now the Russian government has exposed itself as a terrorist state? Are you going to continue to simp for this guy? I mean, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. And Arrogant Bastard said most of them are a bunch of grabblers anyway, just wringing their hands together. And he also said, they killed 38 people, 29 injured when he was talking about this Azerbaijan airline crash. And it's more than evident. I mean, take a look at, these pellets. I mean, they were hit by some kind of a missile, and they were over Russia. So Russia's the only culprit. And look, Russia, instead of trying to deny this shit, instead of trying to completely, give some kind of an excuse to pretend that it wasn't them, they decided to release this. Did y'all see this? Well, man, Russia, what a bunch of fucking sick assholes. I'm not even joking. Take a look at this. Russia releases a video showing a Russian missile shooting down Santa's sleigh. All right? Right after a commercial airline went down over their goddamn country because a missile shot at it, these fucking Ruskies decide, you know what we're going to do? We put out this video. And here's the video in question. I think it's here somewhere. Here's the video in question. Take a look at it. See, there's Santa.
Russians, here are your presents. Happy New Year! Holy shit!
Released by Russia.
Все?
Все. Цель уничтожена.
Правильно. Не нужно нам ничего иностранного в нашем небе. С Новым годом!
И тебя, дед.
All right. So that's what Russia released after they had a commercial airline down with a missile over their country. I mean, they're blatantly becoming a terrorist nation state. And there should be no reason why Trump is negotiating with a terrorist nation state. And neither MAGA, the fucking Tucker Carlsons, those fucking idiots either. All right? There should be no reason. But the reason they're acting tough is because they're not doing very well in the battlefront. They're not doing very well. I mean, aside from losing a bunch of their own men, Did you hear this? Take a look at this. North Korean troops experience mass casualties on the Ukraine front lines. And aside from them taking on mass casualties, when they get injured, they're starting to become more westernized. I have to show you this. Believe it or not, what I'm about to show you are North Koreans in a Russian war hospital getting treated. And take a look at these. You got to take a look at them. You got to take a look at these damn North Koreans. I mean, I said that Kim Jong-un sending his troops out there was a big risk, because if they don't show that they're fierce fighters in the battlefield, then that's going to make little Kim look like an absolute moron, and it's going to embolden the South Koreans to make a move, in my opinion, which I think they should, but the South Koreans ain't doing much better either. Anyway, let me show you this video, all right? Put the PC shot on. All right, and here's how wounded North Korean comrades spend their leisure time in Moscow hospitals. Play it. Look at it. They're hooked on it. They're hooked on cartoons. Look at that. Look at this Ruski.
Как дела, скажи? Заебись все? Тебе заебись? Вот это Кент мой приехал. Опять кенты мои. Новый друг. Аж глаза шире стали от
The
телевизора.
TV made his eyes wider. That's what they're doing. That's what's happening. All right, that's
Да,
North
это какой-то
Korean
нонсенс.
troops.
Вот этот абориген, который там лежит, выкинул в окно бутылку, привязал ее веревкой, блядь, и закрыл окно. Долбоёбы.
Yeah, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Look at that. There are cartoons and anime. We're watching anime. All right, that's what's going on with the North Koreans at this point in time, okay? And that's why I said that little Kim, it's a huge risk sending his fucking men out there. Huge fucking risk. Because now they look like chumps. I mean, who's going to be afraid of the North Koreans, man? All you got to do is throw pornography at them, and they're just going to sit there and jerk their... You know what I mean? I mean, give me a break. And this goes to show you that Russia is not in a position to be threatening to take other geography, in my personal view. All right? I'm just saying. So anyway, North Korea ain't doing too well, and this is why you've got Russia kind of flexing nuts right now, because they're trying to take away the attention from not only their men being killed in mass out there in the theater of combat, but the North Koreans as well. So, little Kim, I would pipe your ass down. Your men are horrible. You train them horribly, and they're dying, and they have nothing to show for it. So there you go, all right? Now, speaking of North Korea, I said that the fact that you have very ill-equipped and, very weak forces aiding Russia in the Ukraine military theater, I said that should embolden South Korea to make a move. Well, remember, they tried to make a move a couple of weeks ago in this attempted coup by the president out there of this Han Duck-soo. That's the real name of the president of South Korea. Well, anyway, they're going through their own political drama right now because of this Han Duck-soo attempting to coup the government of South Korea, utilizing North Korea as a justification to do so. Well, that didn't work. I think y'all remembered me covering that. Take a look at this. South Korea impeaches acting president, prolonging political upheaval. So even though I think right now the South Koreans are probably in a decent position to be able to make a move on little Kim, considering that his men are nothing in the battlefield, they can't even do so even if they wanted to. All right, I mean, they're in their own political situation. And look, this isn't the first time. Remember the last time a president in South Korea got impeached? It was some woman, all right, woman leadership, by the way. And the reason she got impeached was because she was getting her directives, her orders. She was getting her policy, all right, from some cult called the Cult of the Tuna Fish or whatever the fuck it's called. I have no idea. But because of that, they impeached her, and as a result, I think she's in jail to this day. I think the same thing is going to happen to Han Duck-soo over here. All right, real name, by the way, Han Duck-soo. I'm not even joking. So anyway, South Korea not looking too good. All right, what else do we have going on in the world today? All right, because there's a lot of things going on. Let's talk a little bit about China. Now, I know China has been saber-rattling for some years, but they're not doing too well either. They're not doing too well either. Take a look at this. China Xi vows to stop mass killings known as revenge on society crimes. Now, I don't know if y'all have been hearing about this. There has been a plethora of Chinese folks that are going apeshit and that are either going in mass stabbings or they're mowing down people with cars. They just recently put to death a guy in China who took a car and killed 39 people. And this has been happening very frequently. And as a result, it's because of the policies by none other than Xi Jinping. And Xi Jinping has been having to do a lot of purging. He's been having to do a lot of stuff in order to maintain his rule. But his incompetence as a head of state is more than apparent. And you can tell by these mass killings that these Chinese are doing because they've had it. They've had it with this fucking goddamn ridiculous communist Chinese bullshit. Anyway, we got some Rumble Rants. Belligerent Brian, the U.S. literally started and funded terrorist organizations. How is the U.S. any better than Russia exactly? Well, you're a fucking stupid frog from the UK, so it really doesn't matter. Why don't you go fucking pray to Allah or whatever the fuck you do over there and stop worrying about what the fuck's happening in America, Belligerent Brian, all right? You stupid fucking limey piece of shit. And we got Devious Dave, American Santa makes your kids trans, Russian Santa makes them alcoholics. And then we got Arrogant Bastard, Fierce Fighters. They're asking, they're using tactics from the 30s and shooting Russian allies that pot-bellied lard-ass Kim is cooked. I agree, man. But anyway, once again, here we go with the Chinese society not doing too well. This is why you got a lot of saber-rattling coming from Xi Jinping. And aside from mass killings happening from the general population, you're having a major purge in the military. Look at this. In the military. High-ranking military official in China suspended and placed under investigation. I mean, Xi's been doing this since the beginning of 2024. He purged the head of the defense, Minister of Defense. He's purged many people within the defense of China because of fraud. Because of fraud. And what am I saying? Well, folks, that's the thing about the system that is China. It is a quasi-communist, yet practices international capitalist model. And what it's done to China, it has opened up fraud. You know, because when you're in a bureaucracy, you don't want to work. You want to do the least amount possible and get paid the maximum amount possible. All right? So the reason that you're having a very serious situation going on in the Chinese military was because back in January, China did a review on its weapon systems, and take a look at this. China's missiles filled with water, not fuel, according to U.S. intelligence. And this has been a major scandal within the military of China. That's why all China does is just saber rattle, all right? Because they don't have the actual weapons or they have the actual will to invade Taiwan, in my personal opinion. All right? So this is where this purging in the military happens. All right? This is where this purging in the military happens. So China's not in a position to be saber-rattling. It's not in a position to be invading anybody. I mean, China's in a pussy whip position. And I think they could be made to heel. That's why you got Trump over here trying to, I don't know, prod the Chinese, but at the same time throw an olive branch out there. Yeah, and on top of which, if they don't make a deal with us soon, I don't know how much longer China's going to survive. Take a look at this. China is still suffering an economic hangover. And it started with Trump's tariffs back in 2016. And then when Biden came into power, Biden doubled down on those tariffs. And on top of doubling down with those tariffs, he decoupled all right, the United States manufacturing from China considerably, and it has affected the Chinese economy. And they're realizing that without the United States mass consumption, no one else in the world is going to buy the crap that they produce in the quantities that they expect to be bought, like in America. So right now, China, it knows it needs to make a deal with the United States. The problem is Asiatic races have this death before dishonor type of mentality. And they don't want to see, or they don't want to make it seem like they're bowing down or losing face or that sort of thing. So this is where we're at when it comes to negotiation with the United States and China. China doesn't want to look like it's bowing down, and America is certainly not going to give China any more fucking leeway now that we've got China against the ropes. So I don't know what gives, the Chinese economy or having Xi Jinping forced into some kind of conflict. And I don't think it's going to be Taiwan. I think they'd be committing suicide if they did that, but I think they need to engage in a conflict if there's not going to be an economic deal with the United States of America. So once again, China not doing too well on the economic front, and to show that, to show Trump that, hey, fuck you, motherfucker, China sanctioned 7 companies over U.S. military assistance to Taiwan. So they're still trying to pull off these little maneuvers to try to pretend that not only are they pertinent, but they're relevant, all right, or they're scaring somebody, for Christ's sake. Anyway, Belligerent Brian, so you don't answer the question I got. Well, first of all, it's a dumb question, all right? And secondly, what difference does it make, all right? I mean, yeah, we fund terrorist satellites, all right, but we're not engaged with terrorist nation states, you dumb jerk-off. Of course, you're a stupid fucking limey who is probably going to turn London into London-stan, so what difference does it make? Learn a la snack bar, learn how to eat kebabs, and shut your goddamn pie hole, you fucking stupid meek fucking dumbass limey. Anyway, once again, China sanctioned 7 companies over U.S. assistance to Taiwan, all right? Anyway, look, I don't even know why I'm even bothering here. I get it that you folks that were all pro-Trump, y'all are demoralized, and you're trying ways to cope. I get it. You're trying ways to cope, because it's embarrassing, and you should be embarrassed. You should be fucking embarrassed. You idiots went out and voted for a guy because you thought that he was going to make America great again and kick out illegals, and lo and behold, he's going to bring in a double-down number of thank you, come again, all right? So there you go. Eat it and like it, all right? Eat it and like it. Anyway, let's take Israel. Let's talk a little bit about Israel going on. Put the PC shot on. Israel strikes Houthi targets in Yemen. So another one of our terrorist satellites, Israel, is doing our dirty work. I don't know why everybody hates on Israel. I mean, they're the ones doing the dirty work for America without having to use American boots on the ground. And cheers to Israel for doing that. I mean, they've literally upended the terrorists that are in the Middle East. I mean, Iran, the fucking Houthis, Hezbollah, the fucking Hamas, all that shit. All right, now, don't get me wrong. You've got some controversy over there in Israel. You've got folks that don't like Bibsy because of the whole military engagement. But then you got another half that actually appreciates him. So this war is going to continue to go on so long as Benjamin Netanyahu is pursued domestically for any kind of crimes or anything of that nature. All right, so this continues. And by the way, Israel is also looking towards Iran, in my personal opinion. All right? They're looking towards Iran. Put the PC shot on. How Israel's Yemen strikes could prelude to target Iran's nuclear sites. And let me tell you, Iran is against the ropes. This is another country we need to put out of its misery, if you want my personal opinion. All right? And I'm not talking about the people. All right? The people there are waiting for somebody to come in and take away their disgusting fundamentalist regime. They're waiting out there. The unfortunate part about it is that they're unarmed, and every time that they've tried to raise up this ridiculous, disgusting, fundamentalist regime, not only kills the uprising, but goes and kills their families. Goes and kills their families. So Israel, I think that you should bomb Iran. All right? And because what is Iran going to do about it? Iran ain't going to do a goddamn thing. Remember the reprisal strikes by Iran? Get the fuck out. That was ridiculous. All right? They're ridiculous. And guess what? What is Iran going to do anyway? Huh? What is Iran going to do anyway? Take a look at this. All right? First of all, they got ran out of Syria by Al-Qaeda and ISIS, which are terrorist satellites, by the way. All right? Iran says Syria's future unclear after foreign minister hits back. Hey, your terrorist satellites are gone. The Russians, this fucking Syria situation was their Saigon moment. All right? All these idiots that helped protect Bashar al-Assad look like shit. All right? And Iran is no different. And guess what? What is Iran doing right now? Well, they're not doing too good. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Energy crisis has Iran on the brink and hands Trump a historic opportunity. Well, I hope Trump is aggressive with Iran because this regime needs to be toppled. All right? It needs to be toppled. And if we got to do what we have to do, then do it. All right? They got an energy crisis out there. The people do not want this regime in power. All right? They don't want this regime in power. Let me show you how bad the energy crisis is over there in Iran. Now, what I'm about to show you is the actual president of Iran trying to calm people down because now they have to have rolling blackouts. Imagine the fucking desert-ass Iran and shit, fucking arid Iran. They have to have rolling blackouts because of the energy crisis that they have. And, you know, the irony is that they are an oil-rich country. And the only reason that they're suffering from this energy crisis is because these fucking idiot Iranians pissed away the revenues that they generated from selling the energy in the outside market into funding these terrorist satellites that have now failed. See, take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Iran is facing a severe winter energy crisis, which prompted President, whatever the fuck his name is, to order a widespread closure of schools, universities, and government offices. Despite possessing vast natural gas reserves, Iran faces a critical energy shortage at home while having diverted tens of billions to support the Assad regime in the past and their stupid terrorist satellites. Here's this idiot fucking president of Iran. Look at him. I'm here to tell you, I'm sorry.
سوخت داشته باشیم تا بتونیم در این سرما به همه مردم عزیز کشورمون سوخت رسانی کنیم.
See like blackouts in Iran. Take a look at that. Power cuts in Iran, huh? I mean, this is how they are. I'm telling you, we got our enemies against the ropes. We shouldn't be negotiating with these pricks. We should be shoving it down their throat. That's what we should be doing. But no! Everybody wants to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Everybody wants to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Anyway, we get it, all right? We get it. I'm just telling you, man, that Iran is not in a position to be demanding anything, to be flexing nuts in any capacity. All right? Iran is not in a position to do any of this stuff. So that's why Israel, if you want to go and bomb Iran, go do it. All right? Go fucking do it. Anyway, we got a couple of Rumble rants. Belligerent Brian, that terrorism is okay, so why exactly?
I'd buy that for $1.
And arrogant bastard, Iran has to become the next Syria or the next Geraldo? Well, we got to take him out, man. All right, we're not putting up with this fucking shit anymore. All right, we're not putting it up. And hold on, wait a minute. Put the PC shot on. Footage from Christmas rolling blackouts in our parts of the U.S. Rolling blackout. What are you fucking talking about, man? What are you talking about? You talking about that Texas winter? What are you talking about? Oh God. Oh God. First of all, this is another thing that needs to change in America: the American culture. Have you seen this fat piece of shit named David Bluntz? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, you know, people in the world are laughing at us. We're wheeling in a morbidly obese fat piece of shit on an oxygen tank to rap in front of a bunch of fucking young idiot thugs. Unbelievable. Anyway, thanks a lot for that. And then, Jesus, that pisses me off just looking at that shit, man. Anyway, let me move on to something else. I gotta get out of here. All right, it's a Baller Friday. It's post-Christmas. All right. By the way, it's bowl season. I'm missing the Vanderbilt game, so I want to watch some fucking football. But before I do, let me get to some of these other stories that I've got here. Let's talk a little bit about Pakistan. Now, Pakistan, as I've been stating for many, many years, I've been covering Pakistan. I said that they have a horrible terrorist problem coming from not only domestic terrorism from the Balochistan separatists, from the Pashtun tribe, from the Tariqi Taliban, which is the Taliban in Pakistan, the Al-Qaeda factions, they're the AQ Khan loyalists. I mean, they got a lot of shit. But they are blaming Afghanistan for the most part because of the Taliban connection, the Tariqi Taliban. Well, Pakistan has now responded. Did you see this? Pakistan airstrikes in Afghanistan sparked Taliban warning of retaliation. So now we've got some war going on. And what did I tell you about Afghanistan? I told you that we made a deal with the Taliban. We said, look, we're going to get out of here. You can make it seem amongst your peasantry of your people that you ran out America and we're going to leave you with all of our armaments and all of our military gear, all the fucking vehicles and all this shit. But when we do this, that means you're our terrorist satellite now. All right, Taliban, you're our terrorist satellite, and we want you to commit some kind of skirmishes in the region amongst your neighbors. Well, they did it to Iran earlier this year by having some skirmishes with the Iranians at their border. Now Pakistan has responded. And let me tell you, it may be a war right now in the making between Pakistan and Afghanistan. All right? Now, because Pakistan hit these airstrikes, the Taliban are just like, they're wringing their goddamn hands and they're ready to go. They're just brutal fighters. They're born to fight. And I caution Pakistan. I know you're a nuclear power, but the Afghani Taliban, I mean, they'll fucking fight you for 15 years in the damn fucking mountains and then until you leave. And that's what happened. And by the way, the Taliban ain't fucking around. They came out today and said, oh, yeah, well, we declare war. We declare war on Pakistan. So now let's get ready to rumble. Huh? Now let's get ready to rumble. Didn't I say this was going to happen? Didn't I say that the Taliban is our terrorist satellite? And whenever they get uppity, whenever they decide to get uppity, what do? We send in Al-Qaeda or ISIS. We actually send in ISIS. We send in ISIS in order to blow up one of their governors or blow up one of their fucking high-ranking officials in the Taliban, and that's when all of a sudden the Taliban are like, okay, we're sorry. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. All right. Taliban forces, which became dramatically stronger after the Biden administration, are now attacking Pakistan, baby. Take a look at that. Our terrorist satellite, the Taliban. They're going to take the fight to Pakistan. And why do we want them to take the fight to Pakistan? Because we want to destroy the investment that China has made into Pakistan. Pakistan Economic Corridor, the Belt Road Initiative. All right, we want to eliminate that. We want China to take a loss with that. And we want Pakistan to come to heel. So that's what's happening, folks. Pakistan-Afghanistan war coming soon. Predicting the future. I'm good at this game. What can I tell you? I'm good at this game. Anyway, be on the lookout for Afghanistan-Pakistan war coming very, very soon, folks. All right, coming very soon. That's going to be a very interesting battle. All right, I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to looking at it. All right, it's going to be a very interesting battle. Anyway, let us continue here. What else? Oh yeah, Syria. Remember, let's talk a little bit about Syria here. Now, Syria, it's now been taken over by the factions that were ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Idlib, who had been kind of fighting each other ever since 2010, 2011. And they have now, as I stated during the first offensive of Aleppo, I said that these groups have come together, the Al-Qaeda and ISIS factions, which have been fighting with each other, and made an offensive on Aleppo. They moved to Homs, they moved to Hama, and then they moved to Damascus, which now, believe it or not, the new leadership is a former ISIS Al-Qaeda leader, all right? But before I get there, you still have loyalists out there in Syria. Did you hear about this? Assad loyalists kill 14 in a clash with Syria's new ruling forces. So Assad still has, I guess, some kind of loyalist. I don't understand why. I mean, Assad tucked tail and left to Russia. I hear that his wife wants to leave him because of it. And I hear that he doesn't want to even affiliate with politics anymore. I hear Assad, he just wants to become an eye doctor and live in Russia and wants to forget that this ever happened. That's what happens when you're bequeathed a country. All right, when you're bequeathed the country. So once again, and look, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with when it comes to Assad here, all right? A lot of the pictures of Assad came out once they raided his palace. And, you know, you take a look at some of these pictures and you wonder, how the hell was this guy able to have the respect of his forces to go out and fight for this fucking fruity son of a bitch? Let me show you some of the pictures here. All right, these are just a couple of them. Put the PC shot on. I mean, this is Bashar al-Assad. Look at this. He's hanging out in a bathtub with some dude. All right? And here he is playing in the shower with a couple other dudes. So I just don't get how there was any loyalists to Assad and why they're still loyalists for Assad. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right? And all you Assad simps, after watching that goddamn, those photos, are you still simping for him, huh? Huh? You can't Mossad the Assad? You still doing that shit? Fucking fruity asses. Fucking fruity asses. Anyway, as I was stating, the new leader, put the PC shot on, this guy right here. All right, this guy right here, Ahmed al-Sharara, believe it or not, was a major commander of ISIS in Syria. Okay? And now he is the leader of the country. And this is why many of these terrorist satellites stay motivated. This is why they operate in different countries, because we've promised them that if they do our dirty work and overthrow the governments that they're committing terrorism on, that they can take power. They can take power. And as I stated, take a look at this. Syria's new leadership to consolidate all armed rebel factions into the defense ministry. So what is it? Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Al-Qaeda and ISIS. They were the ones that stopped fighting each other in Idlib, and they'd been fighting with each other ever since the revolution, ever since 2011. Up until recently, they decided that they were going to combine forces, win into Aleppo, and win all the way to Damascus. And as a result, this is why this faction of Islamic fundamentalists have taken power. They've taken power. So, once again, all right, I mean, this is how politics works. This is how it is. This is exactly how it is. So, I hope that answers belligerent Brian's question, all right? Because these terrorist satellites that we arm, that we fund, that we train, they are the ones doing the international dirty work for the United States without having to put boots on the ground. And you see, that's what many of you young people that are in Western civilization take for granted. The whole reason why you can be fat in the ass game players, the whole reason why you can be incel obsessed pieces of fucking enemy shit is because we have these types of folks out here protecting America, keeping America safe. All right? We're fighting them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. Anyway, we got some Rumble rants. Arrogant bastard, Assad's local bathhouse. And Pookie, do you think Assad would prefer Luthers or Pumper? Yeah, fuck you, all right? And Arrogant bastard, Assad seems like a Chippendales kind of fella. Yeah, well, no shit. I mean, he looked kind of fruity, if I don't say so myself. All right, one more story, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here. Put the PC shot on. Did you hear what happened in Germany? Well, the government of Germany has now dissolved. Now they're on to a February 23rd snap election. And I think everybody needs to put their eyes on this election, folks, because an East German contingent is starting to take prevalence in this form of government. And I mean, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but the folks that are in East Germany that are now causing the snap election are actually pro-Russia, and they're funded by Russia. What's happening here is the same thing that happened in Ukraine back in 2011, 2012. Okay? The whole reason why we saw the revolution in Ukraine in 2014 was because Russia was utilizing a Russia contingent in the eastern part of Ukraine in order to take over parliament. And that's why the guy that was prime minister before he got ousted once the revolution happened was a pro-Russian agent. He actually jailed the former prime minister of Ukraine, Timchenko, which was a chick, by the way. And that's how Russia was going to take over Ukraine. They were going to take over Ukraine by taking over the government, by taking over the parliament. And as a result, the 2014 revolution happened. All right? And that's why Putin invaded Ukraine. Because Putin thought that he was taking Ukraine fair and square by usurping the government. Then the revolution happened, and the rest is history. You know, the rest is history. And this is something similar, in my opinion, is going to happen in Germany. All right? This is what's going to happen in Germany if this Eastern German front actually takes power in Germany. You're going to have Russia influencing the government of Germany. So this is a very interesting race to be looking at here. The snap election that is coming along on February 23rd. If the Eastern German, this front that's referred to as the Nazis, which, take what you will with that, they are being backed up by Russians. They are being funded by Russians, and they are going to be pro-Russian. So a situation in Germany could be the same thing that we saw during the Ukraine situation in 2011, 2012. So I caution people to watch this race, and I appeal to all the Germans out there, do not get hyper-sensationalized by this Eastern German faction that is now connected to Russia. I'm warning everybody out there in Germany, don't do it. Don't get down with Russia. Fuck Russians, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and end the broadcast, all right? I think I'm pretty much done here. But let's go ahead and get to totally useless news, all right, for all the folks that are out there. This is how we end the broadcast, with a segment of totally useless news for the folks out there to lighten up all the things that we're talking about out here. Lighten everything up. Anyway, put the PC shot on. First, totally useless news. Young and the Restless 37% of Gen Z are skipping the gym and going straight to Ozempic. Are you fucking kidding me? Doesn't anybody find it strange that we're now, having these weight loss injection drugs being sold like they're candy? Like, hey, you can't lose weight, get this? I mean, doesn't anybody remember in the 90s they released something similar to this called Fen-Phen? And then after about a year or two of Fen-Phen being released, fucking people started dropping dead and having heart attacks and all this other shit. I mean, look, I get it. It's, you get a little lazy. You don't want to exercise. I get it. But I warn people, if you are going to lose weight fast, that is not good for your body. All right? Some of the people that I've known in my life that have lost weight fast have either had strokes or heart attacks. And it's because you can't lose massive amounts of weight without affecting the internal organs. I mean, if you're a little bit of a hefty person, then you have to remember this. It took you a long time to get that hefty. It took you a long time to get that girth. It's going to take you a long time to get it out. And you have to let your body sink in naturally. All right, you have to just gradually lose the weight. But, we live in such an impulsive society where people want it, and they want it now. They want it now. And I'd like to remind everybody that this Ozempic is actually supposed to be a diabetic drug, okay? Because diabetics are the ones that need to, lose weight because if they don't, they run the risk of all kinds of side effects. So this is what this was intended to be. Now, unfortunately, fat fucks have found that, hey, the side effect of this is I can lose 20 pounds within a week or whatever the fuck it is. And this is very unhealthy. As a matter of fact, I can't believe Gen Z is going into cosmetic surgery at such a young age in their lives. And, you women, you need to recognize that by getting cosmetic surgery at a young age, it completely ruins your youth. It ruins your face. As a matter of fact, so many women have had cosmetic surgery that it's hard to differentiate a fucking transgendered from an actual woman. All right? Making yourself look like a burn victim by stretching your face is only going to help the trannies, which, in my opinion, are women's competition. All right? So be a little bit natural, ladies, all right? Don't go out there and do cosmetic surgery. We can see it. We can see it. It's not attractive. And we got a few Rumble rants here. Ghost, what's an easy way to use, I don't know, whatever, Sultan Sar. Isn't Ozempic how Mrs. Ghost lost 300 pounds? Yeah, fuck you. And then 5-finger prostate punch. Stop eating, you fat fucks. Yeah, no kidding, man. And then we got Arrogant Bastard with a $10 Rumble rant, and he said, here is something useless to add to the pile here, all right? All right, let's take a look at this. All right, I think it's within the same subject matter. Arrogant Bastard, put the PC shot on. What is it? Oh, a dog weighing a whopping 144 pounds can barely get out of the car after arriving to fat camp? Dude, that's abuse, man. That's oh, Jesus Christ, that's abuse. But that's a testament to the fat fucks that we have in this country. Now, look, if you have a little bit of girth on you, I mean, that's your right, all right? I mean, that's a sign of a good life. If you're a gigantuan fucking Snorlax, all right, that, has to use 2 seats, or, like I always said, if you can't see your penis, you got diabetes, I mean, you got to put the fucking fork down. I mean, seriously, you got to cut this crap out of here, all right? I mean, for heaven's sake, fat fucks. I mean, at some point, I don't know, 300, 350, 400 pounds, it doesn't dawn on you that I may need to put the fucking fork down, for Christ's sake. And on top of which, don't feed your fucking dog the same way you feed your fat ass. Oh, God. And we haven't heard from Pinochet. Well, he's hanging out with Mrs. Ghost, all right? All right, Belligerent Brian. And Sultan Sar, honest question, Ghost. What stock should I invest in to withstand WW3 in the economic collapse? Well, take a listen to the beginning of the broadcast. All right, take a look, listen to the VOD. I kind of go into that in the beginning. And JSev, what did you say? You said that get that dog on some Ozempic. Oh, yeah, there you go. Dude, you know that they have dog Prozac now? They got dog Xanax, to make these dogs docile. Why get a dog if you're going to drug them up, for fuck's sake? Why get a dog if you're going to drug them up? Fucking people are sick, dude, all right? Don't get a dog if you're not going to spend time with it, all right? Don't get a dog if you're going to keep it by itself most of the time. Don't get a dog if you're going to keep it in a fucking kennel. Fucking animal abusing pieces of shit. And Belligerent Brian, I reckon I should put some XRP now. Well, that's up to you, man. I mean, I think the prices are going lower. I mean, remember, I think XRP, I think at its highest, or at least the price point I think it's going to go highest to, is about $5 or $6. All right, I got a guy in the inner circle who I think he bought 30,000 of them at 50 cents. So he's living lavish. Let's put it that way. All right. Anyway, one more totally useless news segment, and let me get the hell out of here. It's a little bit about AI. All right. Put the PC shot on. Godfather of AI says that it could drive humans extinct in 10 years. Now, I kind of agree with this a little bit because we're giving a lot of responsibility to AI, first of all. Secondly, AI is now taking jobs away from people en masse. So what are people going to do if they can't get employed? I mean, this is what the AI Godfather is talking about. I mean, strife, poverty, you name it. I mean, because of AI. And moreover, James Cameron, the director of The Terminator, he says that, hey, I tried to warn you about AI, and it looks like we're taking the path to a Terminator here. So I wonder what's going to happen. I am glad I am an older person. I feel bad for you young people that have to live the reality that's going to be AI drones and autonomous AI robots that are going to keep the streets safe. Dude, I could only imagine, dude. I could only imagine, and I certainly do not want to be around when a totalitarian AI technocratic police state is implemented and they know everything about you. That's the thing about AI. AI is being integrated into your phone, but you don't realize that when you use AI on your phone, you're giving information to the company that owns the AI to aggregate it. And at some point, in my opinion, AI is going to know everything about everybody and, in essence, is going to become an omnipresent God. All right? I mean, everybody that puts these fucking watches and these rings that, tell whatever, the Internet of Things about your health and about your blood pressure and about, your pH and all this other bullshit. I mean, if you're asking AI on your phone about intimate questions or all that shit's being documented. I mean, you know who's aggregating a lot of this data? Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel. He actually created the company Palantir. Look up what Palantir does. It's aggregating all this data from AI and giving it to the CIA. So at some point, folks, all right, you're going to be so integrated to AI that something, some AI, some entity is going to know every fucking thing about you. Everything. I mean, most of you people tell your life story on fucking social media anyway. They're going to aggregate that data. They're going to aggregate your videos. They're going to aggregate your pictures. They're going to aggregate everything that you put out there, and it's going to know every single thing about you. It's going to know your intimate details. It's going to know your idiosyncrasies. I mean, are we creating our own artificial God in AI? I think we need to consider this. And I know AI is fun right now. I know AI is helping facilitate creativity. I'm enjoying it. But let me tell you, as each year goes by, AI continues to learn and AI gets better and better. So I caution people, all right? I caution people, we are headed into an era that I don't think that we understand. I don't think that we understand. In 5 years, we're all going to have personal robots. In 10 years, I don't know if humanity is going to be able to be employed anymore. So these are questions that are being answered by the elites, hence why you have the elites of the globe exercising all these theories on the public. You know, that whole COVID shit was an attempt to try to lock down people in a totalitarian capacity. And thank God there was enough Americans that said, fuck you. And luckily, because there was enough of us that said, fuck you to this COVID crap, it all went away. And you see, that's important. You can't be gullible. And this goes back to the MAGA shit, all right? I told you all that this was going to happen when it came to MAGA. I told you all. But you have to have a sense of humility. And at this point in time, many of you MAGA-tards that now look like fools, all right, because you told everybody about, yeah, Trump's going to do this, and Trump, you're probably at the fucking dinner table at the goddamn Thanksgiving last year. Yeah, Trump this and Trump that. He's going to take away the immigrants. He's going to make America white again. He's going to make America great again. Now you all are eating crow. You're eating crow because I said he wasn't going to do any of this shit. I said he wasn't going to do a goddamn thing about immigration. I told you he was going to bring in a massive amount of Indians. I told you he was going to do all this shit because he doesn't need you people anymore. All right? You know what he needs? He needs Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and David Sachs that have given him fucking, I don't know how many billions of dollars at this point they've given him in fundraising, in, you know, fucking perks, you name it. And that's why, recapping what I said earlier, many of you MAGA grifters that are now being demonetized on X, that are now getting your blue check mark taken away, you are no longer needed, okay? Your little parroting of MAGA, MAGA, you're no longer needed anymore, all right? I can't believe that you talking heads actually thought that you mattered. I can't believe that you idiot MAGA grifters thought that because you could convince a bunch of dumb boomers to give you fucking money for parroting MAGA, pro-Trump, MAGA, you actually thought that you were going to have some political influence. I think it's fucking laughable. It's laughable. And I hope this is a lesson to each and every one of you that backed up MAGA this election cycle. This is why I didn't back up Trump this election cycle, because I knew this was going to happen. And every time I tried to bring it up, you idiots called me a Democrat. You idiots called me a liberal. Well, who's laughing now, you stupid fucking eating crow sons of bitches? Who is laughing now? All right? He who laughs last laughs loudest, all right? Son of a bitch. And hold on, Arrogant Bastard hooked it up with another article about AI here. And thank you for the article as well, Arrogant Bastard. All right, here's the last article relating to AI. Man locked out of smart home for a week after delivery driver accuses him of being racist. Unexpected and unwarranted exile began after an Amazon driver misheard a response from a smart doorbell. I mean, do you see what I'm saying here? I mean, we cannot allow ourselves to be a slave to artificial intelligence. We can't rely on, hey, AI, open my door. Hey, AI, give me my medicine. Hey, AI, you can't do this shit. Anyway, thank you, Arrogant Bastard. Anyway, very interesting set of events that we have going on here. I do not believe that 2025 is going to be a very good time for America. And that's why I've told you all that don't expect America to be great. Don't expect the economy to be great. We're going to suffer through some hard times because this man, Donald Trump, had no policy. No policy whatsoever. And now the policy that he is going to be signing into law are those that are written by Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, a.k.a. the PayPal Mafia. And all you MAGA chattering class idiots, guess what? You were used and abused, and now that you're going to be deplatformed, all right, no one's going to care about you. All your clout, all your popularity that was probably attributed to one platform, once you're deplatformed, it's over. Less than 10% of people on one platform follow a content creator to another platform. Less than 10%. Believe me, I've been banned many a times on shit. So all of you MAGA folks out there, I hope that you have saved your money. I hope that you have invested properly, because the MAGA grift is almost gone. It's almost gone. You are no longer needed. And y'all were used and abused. And once again, all of you idiots, and I don't see many of you MAGA idiots in here anymore. Throughout the whole 2024 election cycle, you fucking MAGA idiots were flapping your fat Cheeto-stained fingers on the keyboard, calling me a liberal because I told you all so. I told you that this guy wasn't going to do a goddamn thing. I told you that he was going to bring in more fucking Indian immigrants. I told you, idiots. But what did y'all do? No, Ghost, you're a liberal. Well, now you look like shit. All you MAGA, especially you vocal MAGA idiots, y'all are going to look like morons in front of everybody you used to fucking run your gator about MAGA to. You're going to look like fucking idiots. And you deserve it because you are an idiot. All right? Have some humility, you fucking MAGA tards, and just look in that mirror right now. You know what? Get up off your fucking chair right now. Get up off your chair. Get up! Get up! All right? I want you to go to your nearest mirror right now. Go to your nearest mirror, you piece of shit. Go to your nearest mirror, and I want you to look inside your beady eyes and that stack of dimes you call a neck, and I want you to say, I am humble, I am wrong, I don't know shit about politics. Say it now! Say it now! You don't know shit about politics. You're a cult of personality idiot, and you don't know shit. All right? You're a moron. Say it. Say it to yourself in the mirror right now. Say it. Say you're a moron, and you don't know shit, and you don't know nothing, and you're a gullible piece of shit. Say it now. And then, while you're staring at yourself in your disgusting beady eyes, I want you to spit in your face. Spit in your goddamn face, you fucking MAGA tard! Spit in your fucking face! And that's from me to you for being a mindless piece of fucking shit that can't think for themselves. All right? That's from me to you! Anyway, on that note, I'm getting the fuck out of here. All right? Happy Baller Friday to all the capitalists throughout the world! All right, cheers to each and every one of you. I don't know when. I may do one more True Capitalist Radio before the end of the year. I may. But I am going to do a ghost show either on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I have not made the decision yet. All right, ghost show on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and that's when I will announce the ghosties. For all those that are asking when the ghosties are going to be awarded, either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I'm thinking New Year's Day night, but I'm not sure. All right. Anyway, I'm going to try to do one more TCR before the new year. And if I don't, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you for listening. And let me tell you something right now. All right. This is our government. This is a government made for the people and by the people. And that's why I'm very vocal on this broadcast about politics. That's why I try to espouse a lot of policy, a lot of understanding, so people can absorb it and be like, you know what, Ghost he's got a fucking point. And Five Finger Prostate Punch, I looked at myself naked in the mirror all the time, and I looked damn good. Oh, great. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. And by the way, before I go, I'm going to be in the True Capitalist Radio member chat. And if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio member chat, put the PC shot on. All you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and go right here to become a member. We have serious conversations in there, so if you're a troll, don't go in there. We're giving each other stock tips. We're making money moves. We're talking about serious political ideas. if you're somebody that wants to take your life serious, if you want to be around people that take life serious, consider becoming a member. I'm in there almost every other night. We have good times. Sometimes we watch the ball game. Cheers to all the folks that are a part of the True Capitalist Radio member chat, man. I'm going to be in there here in about 30 minutes. So everybody out there that's a part of the chat, I'll see you guys in there on a Baller Friday. So cheers to you guys. And by the way, if you join now, I'm about to send the third exclusive True Capitalist Radio membership trading card, all right, this week. So you'll get the third one, all right? The first two were yours truly and the engineer. This third one, I'm going to keep it a surprise, but if you join now, you'll get the third one by this week, all right? Every month, my members get a free trading card every goddamn month, all right? And I'm going to send them this week there, Five Finger Prostate Punch. I'm going to send them this week. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. All right, once again, Maga, please have some humility and recognize that you don't know shit about politics, all right? Recognize that, live it, and learn from it. Anyway, until next time, I'm out of here.